Reliability is not a fixed trait. You can learn to be reliable. You can practice a set of skills and behaviors to become more reliable. We've built this course to help you level up your reliability skill set. By the end of this video, you should have a greater understanding of what makes an employee reliable in the eyes of their colleagues and manager, as well as a few new tips and tricks that you can start using immediately to help increase your own reliability. Reliability starts with showing up, plain and simple. Consistently being on time and ready to work is a great way to demonstrate reliability to your manager. It's what they expect, and there can be real consequences if that expectation is not met. Nearly half of surveyed employers have fired an employee for being chronically late. But surveys show that 1 in 4 employees admit to being late at least once a month. Many are late once a week. Late because of traffic on the commute getting to work. Late because of the weather. Late because of oversleeping. Here's my advice. First, make sure you know the company attendance policy. Like, seriously, do you know the rule? Are you considered on time if you're in the building getting a coffee by 7? Or does work start only after you clock in and after you drop your personal belongings off in the locker? Your employee's expectation of what it means to be at work will vary, especially for retail businesses that have to open on time with their staff ready for the public. In those jobs, you're going to have to do a lot more than just get your foot in the building. Check the employee handbook. Ask your manager so that there are no gray areas. Also, I would definitely practice your commute so that you know how long it typically takes, and then leave a buffer for the unexpected delays. But what do you do when you're going to be late? Or you need to miss work because of being sick or having a family illness or other emergency? There are 5 steps for addressing a late arrival or absence. First, know the standard process for reporting an absence or late arrival. Check your employee handbook. Second, have important phone numbers saved and easy to access. Third, you'll want to offer advance notice if at all possible. 24 hours is ideal, but more may be required. But listen, even an hour of notice is better than a last-minute call, or no call at all. Fourth, be honest about what's happening. Don't lie. If any tasks need to be delegated, make sure to share that information when you call in. Fifth, if an absence or late arrival means that you're behind, have a plan to make up for that time so the projects you're working on and the teammates who depend on you won't suffer. Take a minute to think about the situations in your life where you're always showing up on time. Is it getting to class or to school, meeting a particular group of friends? Try to tap into that mindset and bring it with you to work. Consistently showing up on time and proactively communicating when something comes up. These practices will help employers perceive you as being reliable. I've got a friend named Sam. Sam has worked at the same job for over 5 years. He's done everything there, and that's good because his manager is always asking him to do something new. Why? Because Sam's manager trusts him. He knows that if Sam says yes, and it's definitely an if, he'll see the task through. That is what reliable employees do. They get the job done. If they start something, they finish it. Managers, colleagues, customers, they can all depend on this type of person to follow through. Now, if you're like me, the first thing that pops into your head might be, well, does Sam ever stop working? And the answer is yes. Always getting the job done doesn't mean that a reliable employee has to work 100 hours a week every week. In contrast, there are a few replicable skills that reliable employees often use to help them get and stay organized and stay on top of their list of tasks. So before you agree to take on a new project or a task or assignment, you want to get as much information as possible. If the information is not already apparent, you should consider asking about the timeline. When do you need this done? What should I start with first? Ask about the objective. How do you want this to look when it's done? What elements should the final product have? And definitely ask about process. Who should I involve in this project? Who should review the work and provide feedback? Clarifying expectations can help you evaluate what needs to be done and how long it will take you. One other question I like to ask is, how do you want me to keep you updated on the work? Sharing progress reports, even quick emails or memos, can do a lot to remind stakeholders that you're on the job and that you have a plan. So if your manager says they want to be closely involved, you can share an update every few days. They won't have to ask you how it's going because they'll already know. Another element in this lesson is really about your internal process for tracking your work and organizing everything that has to get done. Bottom line, you need one process. Some people use digital tools like online calendars and task trackers. Other people prefer Post-it notes and pen and pencils. Whatever system you use, just use that one system consistently. Not only will this help you track your obligations, it will also help you plan ahead and evaluate how much capacity you have to take on new projects. A truly reliable person doesn't say yes to every single request. They just don't have the time. A reliable person avoids making commitments they can't keep. Take a minute to think about the situations where you ask lots of clarifying questions before you agree to start something. Maybe it's when you're cooking and you want to follow the recipe exactly. Or maybe it's when you're asked to drive somewhere and you want to know the directions and the traffic conditions before you commit. Tap into that mindset and bring it with you into your work environment. It's hard to be reliable when you're being asked to do something that isn't clear, or when you don't have a system for remembering your commitments. No one is born completely reliable or inherently follows through on all of their actions. These are learned skills. They're learned from practice and from believing that you can be and should be dependable and worthy of confidence and trust. Following company policies is a serious issue. If there are rules, regulations, or procedures that don't make sense to you, the worst thing you can do would be to ignore them.
No, you choose for once.
Tell me, where, hold on. Don't land! Where to take personal calls, when to use the company mailroom, whether or not you can accept a gift. These can be gray areas. Rules make things black and white. They show workers what is acceptable, what the expectations are, and what the consequences could be. If you're bending rules to get something done, that is not a recipe for reliability. If you're keeping company with employees who go around certain regulations, you're not going to end up with the reputation that you're looking for. So the next time an employer asks if they can count on you, or if you understand what's being asked of you, remember the tips that are in this video. First, know your employer's expectations about when work begins and how to report an absence. Show up on time, and when something comes up, follow the guidelines and give as much notice as possible. Secondly, finish what you start. So before you say yes to a new task or assignment, get as many details as you can, understand the goals and how to communicate progress, confirm the timeline, and make sure you stay organized by having a system for tracking your work. And third, company policies and regulations apply to everyone. Make sure you know them, understand them, and follow them.
1 second. Okay, you choose.
And if you're not sure about something, ask your manager for clarification. You can do all of this, and it'll pay off. Promotions, greater responsibilities, more senior projects. They all first require being trusted and being perceived as dependable. In other words, it means being reliable. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and download the Indeed mobile app.
All right, we've only got enough tape for one take, okay?
We're losing light to help increase your own reliability.
Oh no.